Hey everybody, welcome back to RVCCIS Info. On today's episode, we're going to continue to investigate what we're going to need in order to make an iPad function in place of a Chromebook or any other kind of laptop. So let's get into it. So in all, what are we going to need to actually use an iPad as a computer? Well, to make your life a little bit easier, I suggest a couple of things. First and foremost, you are going to need, of course, an iPad. Now, is it true that this iPad mini is a little bit small? Yeah, it is. Any iPad would do. If you happen to have any of the last couple of generations of regular iPads, so that would mean the iPad that had 9.7 inches for the screen, or the new iPad with, I think it's a 10.2 inch screen, that would do. So I'm going to be sticking to this one because it's the one I actually own, but you could also use a regular 10-inch iPad, just like this one. This one is from 2017, so it's plenty old already, and that's already a start. Now, you're going to want a couple of other things to help get you along. If you have a stand of any sort, that's going to be helpful. So I have this piece of wood from IKEA. I think it was $3, back when we could go to stores. And this is what I use to prop up the iPad at a quasi acceptable level. Moving on from there, the typing experience using the virtual keyboard could be better, right? So rather than rely on the virtual keyboard, I suggest making a little bit of an investment in getting a Bluetooth keyboard. Now, make sure that you are getting a Bluetooth keyboard and not a just wireless keyboard. Regular wireless keyboards that are meant for Windows use, for the most part, require a wireless receiving dongle, and honestly, that's not the best. These, with just Bluetooth, don't need anything in the way of a connection. You just activate Bluetooth here, you activate Bluetooth syncing here, and happy days. That's it. So even with just these three things, now, like I said, I had this keyboard case, or the keyboard rather, for years now. Actually, I've had this little block of wood for a while. I just prop the iPad onto the holder. I've got the keypad in front of me, and away we go. That's it. That's really all you need to be able to get this to work. Now, if you have more material hanging around, you can make this more of a desktop replacement. So I can actually use my Apple mouse. Any Bluetooth mouse, again, will do. There's an Amazon Basics mouse, obviously via Amazon, that's like $16. There's another one called Jellycomb, that's $15. Any Bluetooth mouse will do. This one happened to be one I had around the house, and you just hook it up via Bluetooth and away you go. So now I can type here, I can use the mouse here, everything will go moving around the screen the way I expect it to, and boom, I get pretty much a desktop experience, which is great. Now, are there other ancillary materials that make this, computer relationship here a little bit better? Yeah, you could keep going. If you have a set of Bluetooth headphones, they simply connect to your iPad and away you go. This iPad is actually old enough, it does have a headphone jack. I cannot speak to every iPad, but I think most of them have it. So the little speakers that come out of this are not so great. So this makes a world of difference. These are Plantronics Backbeat Fit, 600, I think. I got these open box at Amazon for $20, which ain't half bad. If you have other Bluetooth headphones hanging around, they're going to work just as well, and maybe even better. If you really wanted, you could keep going and add a little bit more gear here. This is the Logitech Crayon. It is a Bluetooth pointer, right? I mean, it's a pen. The nice thing about this pencil, the Logitech Crayon, is this costs all of, I got this for $40 on sale at Verizon, and I don't even have service through Verizon. A long time ago, Chuck Conkle was nice enough to lend me his Apple Pencil. That's this thing right here, which I use all the time, which is great, but costs $100. 40, 100, 40, 100, 40, 100. Yeah, I'm sticking with the $40 one. If it was my money, I would just stick with this one. It's nearly as sensitive, and actually it's easier to charge because you don't have to have it sticking really strangely out of the back of your iPad like this, which I just think is going to break my iPad one of these days. So I try not to charge it that way. This is it. This is a desktop replacement for the most part. Through your iPad, we'll go over the apps and the services you can use to do almost all of your schoolwork. With the keyboard, you can do all of the typing that would otherwise maybe be painfully unergonomic here with the virtual keyboard. With a mouse, you can do all the mousy clicky things that you are used to, although it's just as easy to come click here on your screen. With a set of Bluetooth headphones, you can listen with a much more immersive experience than the two kind of crummy little speakers here at the bottom. And if you like to draw, or if you like having a very, very precise input experience, you'll want either of these. But if you don't want to get another mouse, you could go ahead with this, and it becomes, really simple to be able to click on exactly what you click on, or to write when you're writing on things. So this is, getting to be priced at about what you would get for a Chromebook. This $250. This rather block of wood was $3. This was $20, $40, and $20. Right here we are looking at $360 worth of material. Really, if you didn't want the pencil, you wouldn't have to. Really, if you didn't want a mouse in there, you wouldn't have to. Really, if you don't want the headphones, you wouldn't have to. So for $270, you could assemble an iPad, a keyboard, and a stand, and start the process moving of replacing your Chromebook with an iPad. So now, despite the cramped recording, this is actually set up in a way that kind of makes sense as far as how to use it as a laptop. Even with the $3 IKEA brick, piece of wood, it is tilted at about the right angle for me here with the keyboard attached, which only took just a moment, to type in the pairing command, and away it went. Everything really went pretty smoothly. So now that we have a keyboard, now that we have an iPad, even as small as this one is, let's go over to the iPad to see how things are going to look when we're using it from the iPad's perspective. It won't be as cramped as this is right here. This is not ergonomic at all. I'm gonna need a doctor or something, I think. Let's go check. So now that I have my iPad connected to a keyboard, I can use shortcut keys like Command Tab to go around all of my open and available apps. And you can see this little gray dot here moving through the center of the screen. That's actually the mouse I have connected. I just found one of my old Apple mice hanging around. I just turned it on and boom, it was available for me to pair. So there is nothing special going on here. This is all just stuff that's built into iOS, or iPad OS rather. So if I was to go to Safari, this is what I could use to get into all of my apps. So right here along the bottom of the screen, which I am going to blank out, you can see it has my username already for Canvas. You can see here it has my username already for my Outlook Mail. And actually over here, because I'm presently teaching a course in web design, and I am also putting up new videos for RVCCIS.info, I've actually got my Squarespace pages open so that I can sign in over here too. So it is baby playtime simple. To be able to sign in, we would use our Touch ID for username and password, and that is perfect because we can be assured that our usernames and passwords are secure, because if somebody has my thumb, I have a bigger problem than them having access to Eagle so that they could post weird things to the classroom. I mean, like, I'm worried about my thumb as opposed to that. So, and as you can see here, scrolling works. So I'm just scrolling down. I'm going to find an active class. No, I'm not. I'm going to find a not active class. And I can simply click in here. And if I was to click through this page, I could do everything that Eagle needs me to do. So I can import old content. I can message students from here. Everything perfectly works, and it is on an 8-inch iPad. Over here with my sign in, I could see I'm not going to click through to here. That's just asking for trouble. I can do everything I would need to do if I didn't have a mail program on my iPad, which I do, but I could do it from here. I could actually go through and complete the rest of the video that I would need to do and upload it here to Squarespace, to YouTube, to Twitter, to Facebook, to do all the things that I need to do. So really, we've got, again, a perfectly solid solution that is absolutely usable here on a really very, very small device. So there you have it, guys. We've got an iPad, a keyboard, and way over here, we'll put it back in front of the camera. Nope, it is not in front of the camera. There, a mouse that we are using to turn an iPad into a full-fledged replacement for a laptop, or in my case, my Chromebook. So the next time around, we're actually going to take a look at video. We're going to see what we can't do to edit this video to see what that experience was like. Supposing I can get up out of this weird position from this chair, because I think I may have broken something. So until next time, this has been RVCCIS.info. Somebody please send a medic. Like, this is real.